Well, this is exciting. The Star-Spangled Fleet project is complete, the so-called Oklahoma project, and you can see that I have received the Oklahoma. So let's take a look at the project real quick. You do get the camos for the New York, New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kansas, and the final reward is the Oklahoma. It is a Nevada class battleship, so let's take a look at the Oklahoma versus the Nevada. So here's the Oklahoma. You can see I haven't set it up yet. Let's take a look at the stats. So the artillery range is 15.1 kilometers, 34-second reload time, 4-kilometer secondaries. Okay, let's look at the maneuverability, because American battleships are notoriously slow. Maximum speed is 20 knots without any upgrades at all. As far as the upgrades go, you can see there is only one upgrade slot, and it's either secondary battery, AA guns, or the main battery mod 2. So let's look at the Nevada real quick, since it is the sister ship. You can see there were a lot more upgrades available for the Nevada. Main battery mod 2, this is probably what we'll do on the Oklahoma. But here you have firing range increase of 20%, targeting system Mark 4, you have the engine boost, but maximum speed is 18 knots, so that's already slower than the Oklahoma was. So, okay, and you have a Nevada hull B, which goes up to 49,480 hit points. Let's look at the reload speed. So 35. So this with the commander configured is actually a little less capable than the Oklahoma. You can see the maximum AP shell damage is 11,000, but reload time is 35 seconds. Firing range is 16 kilometers. We will see how that changes once I configure the commander for the Oklahoma. Alright, so let's configure the commander for the Oklahoma. It is Sims. Base trait is built to last, gains HP bonus per ship tier. Andrew Cunningham is the first inspiration for concentrated devastation, which increases the shell grouping. Second inspiration is Robert Joujard Borer, which increases the battleship's AP shell penetration. And for the skills, I have Flammable Cannoneer, which increases the battery range and shell grouping. Gyrating Drill Bits, which increases the main battery traverse speed and damage. Marksmanship, which increases the main battery shell grouping for any ship type. And then Reaching Out XXL to give it a little bit more range. And for the legendary skill, I have them ranked up to 14.2. 2 is the legendary rank, and I have Will to Rebuild. Range to allied ship to activate the effect is 2 kilometers. Alright, so let's check out the upgrade here. I'm probably going to use the same upgrade that I used on the Nevada. I already have this in stock, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Let's look at the loadout. High explosive shells, armor piercing shells, normal damage control party for the consumable, repair party for the consumable. This is all pretty normal. And here you can either have a catapult fighter, a spotter, or secondary targeting. I think I'm going to go with the spotter, experiment with that. I'm not really sure how effective the spotter is. Go ahead and leave a comment if you have any opinions about that. And as far as the camo, it comes with a Type 9 Premium Permanent Camouflage, where C detectability and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. Let's look at the stats. 49,480. Artillery, 16.7 kilometers, so they did expand the range a little bit. Reload time is 35 seconds. That is probably because of the upgrade that we've selected for the traverse speed. And traverse speed is around 36 seconds, so I've seen it as bad as a minute, so 36 seconds is okay. HE shell damage is 4,900 at a 27% chance of setting fire. Maximum AP shell damage is 11,000. There are your AA defensive numbers. Maneuverability, 18 knots. I thought that the maximum speed was 20 knots. So probably because of the commander skill with my selections, with one of the commander skills, it did slow down the ship. It could have been marksmanship, slows down the ship. Concealment, 12.4 kilometers. Let's look at the armor. You can see your normal green around the hull for Tier 4 battleships. So let's remove the armor and take a look at the citadel. And the citadel is pretty heavily armored, and it is right at the waterline. There might be a little bit sticking above the waterline, but in general it is pretty well armored. There's some green right there in the front, so you could get a lucky shot, and the rear here, so you could get a lucky shot in the front and aft to hit you in the citadel. Alright, so let's take a look at the overview. It's agile, above average ability to change direction. Ironclad, above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration, and I do believe that's what we saw in the armor view. Slow, below average maximum movement speed, and that is absolutely for sure. Oklahoma is a Nevada-class battleship belonging to the first series of U.S. Navy Standard type battleships. Oklahoma had all-or-nothing armor protection, and her main battery guns were concentrated at her fore and aft ends. Entered service in 1916. There were 2 ships in the series, which is the Oklahoma here, and of course the Nevada. Alright, well that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Hey, let's go out and take a look at some highlights. Okay, you can see I'm running all of the rare boosters, and I'm running the epic battle booster to increase the range a little bit more, and we are going to go right out in battle. This is basically going to be live. You're going to see it as it happens. Alright, we're in straight. Let's take a look at the blue and the red team here. There's a division on the other team, so in theory, you know, you always hear that divisions do have an advantage. There is no division on the blue team, so we'll just have to see how this goes right here. But in general, in this map, there are these pinch points here on each side of the map, so I don't think people really forge ahead. I am kind of way out here on the right side, and it looks like my my teammate is leaving me, so I'm going to go ahead and follow him. I'm not going to sit out here like a sitting duck. So I'm going to go and try to meet up with the rest of my team and hope that my broadside doesn't get me taken out here. There I switch from HE shells, which is your default loadout whenever you start a new ship, and now I've got armor piercing. Normally I sort of christen the ship with firing with the HE shells, but this time I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come right over here, and luckily I'm not being spotted. So okay, so I have a good bead on the Koenig over there, so that is awesome. Let's see if I led him enough. Looks like I did, but it was a complete miss. That is just great. I thought that that was a pretty good shot. And he is hiding behind the island over there, so okay. I try to estimate where the Danae is. And a lot of times you do get a lucky shot here on stuff like this. Well, yeah, I did get a hit. A lot of times I actually get citadels doing that stuff. So, okay. This is Z-22. Looks like there's an enemy cruiser. Over on my right. Okay, there he is. I'm going to hit the spotter and try to really mess this guy up.
Spotter airborne.
And he stops. So that, well, okay, so the one hit I get is a citadel. That is awesome. But I really blew that, I blew that shot, and I accidentally hit the heel right there. So that is not great. That's a mess up on my part. But so there was my one chance, and I let that cruiser get away. It probably would have been a dev strike had I have hit him with everything I had with the spotter in the air. So let that be a lesson to you. Damn. All right, well, you can't win them all. Alright, this Danae out here is looking like he wants to get a little bit of action, so let's give it to him. And he turned right in the nick of time, and there's this cruiser again, so let's see if we can tune this guy up. I think I'm going to go back around and defend my flag after I fire at this guy one more time. There you go. That's what should have happened the first time.
Problem solved, sir.
And this guy just out here in the open water like this, he's got to pay for that.
Target penetrated.
He's got to pay for it. And he doesn't. That was a terrible aim. There is no way that this guy should be okay here. Speed really helped him out there. Oh, there you go. Well, you can't be out in the open like that, okay? Lesson learned.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, direct front.
Okay, this Koenig looks like he's gonna be in a good position. And he's not aiming at me. That is awesome. Clear that dead Hulk. Should be dead. Yeah, okay, very good.
Battleship foundered.
See if we can get a lucky shot on the destroyer. Alright, not a lucky shot, but it looks like we will definitely win this game, which is awesome. On my first time out with the Oklahoma. This is great. This really does seem like a pretty good ship. And I think it's a lot more potent than the Nevada, actually. I played the Nevada a fair bit, and seems like this guy was getting, the Oklahoma was getting a little bit better citadel action than I seem to remember with the Nevada. So there is that. This it's definitely the Star-Spangled Fleet project is definitely a good project to work on. You do finish it relatively quick. The very last stage is 10 segments, but the segments go in about a half a day. So it was no problem at all to finish out the last 10. And let's see if we can take out the Ho show here. He's still around. I'm going to hit the spotter plane. Okay, spotter plane's up. Yeah, no, the... All right, well, that was a great first match in the Oklahoma. Obviously a victory, 42,000 damage, 3 citadel hits. Very good. Let's look at the team result. Only 4th place, but still 2 destroyed ships. That is pretty good. I'm really happy with it. We made 159,000 being tier 4. So there you go. That's the shakedown cruise of the Oklahoma. You saw it live right here as it happened. I think this is a pretty good ship for tier 4, and it seems a lot more potent than the Nevada does, but it could be just me. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is the Jaguar. I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it. There you go. That's what should have happened the first time.